In this video, I'm going to discuss a series of coins and I'm going to go through them quickly with technical analysis. I'm going to explain why some of the coins you heard shilled all the time on YouTube are actually not really good investments at all and could be wasting a lot of your time and money. Could even turn into bad investments actually in a raging bull market. Now, this is nothing against the people who are talking about these coins. It's just purely based on technical analysis. I've analyzed them and I've had a look at them and I just don't think they make sense at all. What I mean basically when we go through them, basically you see some coins doing nice impulsive moves, which you expect to see early stages of the bull market. And you see a lot of the other ones just doing this sideways rubbish and not going anywhere. And what they believe, or they would like you to believe, is that suddenly some magic is going to happen out of nowhere and people are going to realize the tokenomics of this random crypto coin and it's going to go to the moon. Or Carl Icahn or somebody else is randomly going to suddenly invest. Now, I deal with probabilities, and the probability of these magical things happening, very, very low. So that's why I'm saying don't waste your time. So let's go through the list. First one we have here is Quant, so QNT USDT. And this one, at its peaks in 2021, it was at 400. So this is not a new coin. It's been around for a while now, for a few years. And it's obviously way down from that point of view. Now, we had that move last year from June all the way up to October. But notice in the December rally, the January, February rally this year, it didn't really move very much. And again, if we zoom in, we can actually see that. We can actually check the percentage move. So in December, it went up 50%, which literally is one of the worst performing crypto coins in the whole of crypto land. And then even then, it broke those lows and made fresh new lows on 19th October. And since then, it's moved 18%. Like literally one of the worst coins ever. Like over the last few weeks. And this is being recommended to you. Now, I'm not saying it can't suddenly do a moonshot and go back up to 400. It's possible. But I mean, it's already at 100 anyway. So in that extremely unlikely event, the max you would make is a 4x. So that's one issue with it anyway. But the other issue is based on the price action, based on how weak this price action has been, this consistent downtrend of lower highs and lower lows, which is continuing, by the way. It's not really even broken its downtrend. It broke a bit of a trend line here, but it's just at resistance now and it's not moved. Now, this is the problem with these coins. So people will look at this and be like, well, it doesn't make sense. And then on any one random day, it might be up 10 or 15%, but that doesn't mean anything. Even in a bear market, these coins can be up 15% one random day. That does not mean something fundamental's changed in its structure, which I don't think it has. So a lot of this movement is corrective. So what I'm saying is, with this particular one, you could be wasting months here with this doing absolutely nothing or doing the bare minimum whilst everything else is pumping really hard. And if you've got limited budget, let's say if you only had 1K or, let's say if you had 10K, which is a really good budget for altcoin investment, but then you have all of it in this or coins like this, you're really, in my opinion, wasting your money. You're wasting the bull market potentially. So the next one, Atom is another one I see shilled a lot. It went from again, it had that move last year, but from December, it went from 8 to 14. It did basically nothing, broken down to lower lows. Now at that resistance level, it can't even get through. And it moved from about 6-ish till 9. So it's up barely 50%. So doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And again, it's one of these older coins. It's different if the coin's just ICO'd and is here and is brand new. That's different. And you've got clear skies ahead of you. That's completely different. This has loads of headways and it's been around for a very long time and it's been doing absolutely nothing. Like if I told you to go to court and present a case for Atom and show me why the probability is extremely high of this mooning, what are you going to even say? Because I will just say, look, the last 12 to 18 months has shown like it has absolutely no potential at all based on price action. And I'm comparing this, it's all relative. I'm comparing it to the Solanas of this world and all of the other smaller altcoins as well of this world. For example, the AI coins, I'm comparing it. Even metaverse coins that had their fun way back when are doing better in this last year, even though it's not really a trending niche at the moment. So why bother? So this for me is an absolute no-no. This is CHZUSD, Chili's. Again, I hear this a lot on YouTube. I have no idea why, because I'm just anybody looking at a chart can, even if you don't have that much technical experience, can look at that and say, look, if I invested anywhere in this, like I would be completely wrecked. And even now, it's, again, the trend hasn't broken at all. It's lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And in this massive raging move we've seen in the past few weeks in Bitcoin and loads of altcoins, it's done absolutely nothing, like literally 5 cents to 7 cents. You've literally lost money, in my opinion, by being in this compared to all of the other coins. Again, I'm not saying it can't on any particular day do a little 10% boost up with a little bit of trading volume, break a couple of levels. I'm not saying it can't do that. I'm just saying it's going to be lagging. This is going to be lagging way behind everything else if you choose to hold your money in it. Just my opinion. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Next, Hbar. See it talked about a lot. Now, obviously, this is a little bit newer, so that means it's more interesting. There's more potential, more clear sky ahead. So yes, I'm with everybody on that. But at the same time, we had that move in January, a better move. You see, we went from 3 cents all the way to around 8 cents, or a little bit better. It didn't really outperform all the other altcoins, though. A little bit better. We do nothing since. And then the problem is this movement here. Again, it's a lot of sideways chopping action between levels. Don't want to see that in something that's going to start and is going to be on the path to a raging bull run and is going to outperform other coins. I'll show you one in just a minute as an example. So this sideways action we don't want to see. And then in this move where everything was doing so well, it went from 4 to 6 cents. So literally barely 50%. Don't want to see that either. That's really kind of poor performance. Again, are we waiting for magic to happen? Is there some new news? I'll be honest, I don't know what all the fundamentals are, but I don't need to know either because everything's on price action. If I see something pumping, it obviously has a reason for it to pump. If it's breaking levels, it's very impulsive in terms of its movement, then I'm interested and I'm going to ride that wave. Simple as that. Couldn't care less what the tokenomics were because no one person can think, oh, well, these tokenomics, they don't make sense. Like it should really be 50x more. Like if nobody else cares or knows and no big investor or smart money is interested, then it doesn't matter what you think. It's not going to go anywhere. So I've talked about a few there, but just let me show you what the flip side is, just so you understand. Solana is obviously a bigger coin. Again, you just look here from September. Take whichever lows you want. So let's say you wanted to take the lows in June, way up 400%. Like that's way outperforming. And how are we moving up? Is there any of this sideways nonsense? No. Clear, impulsive moves with consolidation further along. So probability states, out of everything that I've spoken about so far, what's the one that has a chance of making a next impulsive leg up? What's the one that has a chance? Based on market structure alone, look how many levels Solana has broken along the way, how many trend levels, how much clear sky it has now to get to the next resistance levels. Which one's most likely? Like by a mile, it's Solana, even more than these, even though Solana is not a small coin. It's the smaller coins where you can make much more in terms of a multiple. But you see my point. And let me just add one or two more of the smaller coins. So let me show you Agix, Singularity. So this particular one, again, you've got the kind of AI narrative and stuff like that. And, potentially it could do decent. And it had that decent run in January. So let's have a look at it. So what are we talking here? So we're talking about 5 to, well, more than decent. It actually ran really, really well. So this is a trickier one because this already had a proper impulsive move up. So already like outperformed a lot. And then it obviously had the recovery and now we're moving up again. But the thing that bothering me is, again, compared to the other AI, you have to look within a niche. How well is it doing? It's doing on par. But sorry, not even on par. It's actually doing below par. And that's a worry. That's a worry. Now, you could argue it's a late mover, but here in January and stuff, it was moving at the same time as everything else. So it wasn't like it was late to the party or anything. Why is it lagging behind the other coins in its particular niche? You've got to pick the winners in any niche, any new trend. Remember, the metaverse was the big one in 2021. Now, some people, including myself, will occasionally dip into old metaverse altcoins, but really, it's not actually a good idea. It's better to go into the new narrative, which is probably AI and a few other things, maybe crypto gaming and stuff like that, because that's where you're going to get more of the winners and the whole niche is going to be carried up a lot further. So that's where this doesn't make sense. So other ones you have to be careful of are the ones like Sandbox, Decentraland, etc. You have to be careful with those. They will move, of course, but they may move a lot less than the others. And Agix is an example of one that did very well, has a lot of potential, but is kind of mid-par, medium. You may want to pick some of the other AI ones over this just based on recent performance, it really didn't push, which is worrying because it's hitting this resistance level and it's got lots and lots of trading levels to get through here from 35 all the way to 49. A lot of resistance and traffic to get through there. The good news is if it can start attacking these highs, which in theory it should have done already if it was doing very well. But anyway, if it does attack, then there's clear skies. Anytime there's clear skies up ahead, then the potential is very, very good. Final one I'm discussing, Veracity, VRA-USDT. See it very, very popular on YouTube. People love Veracity. No idea why. Because again, it's an older coin, which is not good anyway. So it's not part of any massive new narrative and stuff. And if it's got any new kind of fundamentals, that's going to be a problem. It's already got massive, massive headways in terms of resistance level. And it's way, way down from its highs. And in terms of recent price action now, so it's basically been sideways. Like we are where we were a couple of years ago and stuff. And in terms of the move, I'm always interested in the move that happened in January and how it did. And did it outperform or was it kind of average? And this actually did okay. It did decent. That was a kind of 300% move there. So that's decent. Then it went sideways. But then the problem here, since it went sideways, again, we're looking at that boost from October. What did it do when everything else was going crazy? What did it actually do? And the answer is not much. Very, very average, maybe even below par, 60% or so. That's not good enough. Like a lot of you watching here will have very limited budgets that you can't really put money on coins that aren't doing anything. It just doesn't make sense. So this is another one of those that I would kind of, it's like Agix. Like I would have it on my watch list anyway, but it would be on a separate watch list, which is like kind of don't bother watch list because it's not doing anything. And if it's not doing anything now, will it suddenly do anything late and move late and stuff like that? Yeah, potentially. But probability says I don't really care if it moved late. If I'm already involved in the winners and the winners are going to do really well, then I'm fine. And what I'm going to do in the next video is I'm going to discuss some of my favorite ones based purely on technical analysis because that's all I care about. And that seems to have been working well for me because those seem to be the ones with better kind of market structure and setup. And those seem to be the ones that are breaking out and making nice technical breakouts and moving faster than some of the other coins. If you have any suggestions on any I should review, please mention them in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.